are a family of Colorado climbers shattering records the world over.
Woohoo! Should we show them how high we are?
First, Sam Evermore became, at 8 years old, the youngest person to ever conquer the 3,000-foot rock face of El Capitan in Yosemite. And just weeks ago, another milestone accomplished. At 11 years old, he set a new record, the youngest to ever climb the Matterhorn in the Swiss Alps. This adventurous family telling us this is about more than just overcoming fear. It's about strengthening bonds and setting colossal goals. And we're going to hear all about it in this episode of Colorado Conversations. All right, let's get to it. We are going to have an amazing conversation right now with this perhaps the most adventurous family in all of Colorado. And I can't wait to hear about what they've been up to because it is pretty mesmerizing, including setting records right and left. So let's get right to it. And let's start with you, Joe, so you can sort of introduce us to these heroes that we've got in the present.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I'm Joe Evermore, and we're just sharing a little bit about our unique family. We do a lot of rock climbing.
Who are these little guys with you?
So we got Sylvan Lightyear. He's our middleborn, and we got Sam Adventure, and then we got Joey Danger over there. All three of these boys are great rock climbers.
I can tell, and so we've got so much to talk about that I don't want to waste any time. I want to talk about what you guys just accomplished in the Swiss Alps on the Matterhorn. Tell me all about it. Tell me what went into it, and how hard was it? And why don't we start with you, Sam? Tell us what you did.
So we climbed the Matterhorn. It took us one day. We started at 4 a.m. We got to the summit about 7 in the morning, and we got down at like 11.
Wow. And how high is it, do you know?
It's just under 15,000 feet, so it'd be like one of the highest 14ers in Colorado, but it's not the height that gets you. It's this fierce nature and actually danger of this mountain. This is one of the most iconic mountains in the whole world.
Yeah, we see it all over the place. It's like one of the national symbols of Switzerland, right? And
oh, yeah.
And why was it a goal? Why was this something that you wanted to check off the list? Both of you, I guess. Let's start with you, Joe.
So every year, our family sets one colossal goal. Yeah. And we have 3 rules. One, if it has to be, since we only pick one, we try to pick things that are really remarkable, something that are historic, things like that. Yeah. Secondly, it's got to be so big that you work on it a little bit every day. Yeah. And then rule number 3 is you can't die. And so we make sure we have the right people, the right team, we're respecting the mountain, we know what we're doing. And we did this with Swiss guys. One of them had climbed it 300 times. Yeah. And so we did it as safe as possible. But I will tell you, it's a serious mountain. Actually, the week that we climbed it, a climber fell to their death on the same route that we were climbing. And last year, we attempted it, and 3 climbers fell on the same route and died. Wow. And so it's a serious mountain. And so we approached it with a lot of fear and trembling. And last year when we tried to climb it, we were missing our time and decided to turn back. And that's a hard thing when you plan a mountain out a year in advance. It's emotional to turn around mid-mountain. Yeah. When you can see the summit right there. Yeah,
and it's why a lot of people run into problems, right? Because they don't want to turn around. They're so laser focused on the summit that then they get into trouble, right?
Especially for this mountain. This mountain has like a magical pull to it. Yeah. And I think that's why it's killed so many people, because there's all these reasons to turn around and you want it so bad that it kills you. Yeah. And most people on the Matterhorn, they die on the descent of the Matterhorn. So you summit it and you think you're done, but you're only like half done. Yeah. The part that kills you is the descent.
Yeah, a lot of times coming down is as dangerous as going up, no doubt. Sam, talk to me about why you wanted to do this, and also, what do you remember about the sort of record that you broke before that when you were 8 years old in Yosemite? Tell me about that.
I wanted to do it because we do one big goal every year, and that's what I wanted to do for my big goal. Mm-hmm. And before, when I was 8, I did El Capitan. And I'm the youngest to climb that.
Yeah. Youngest ever, right?
Yeah. Now my brother's going to climb it at 8.
Wait, will he break your record or will he tie it?
No, he won't break it.
You're not going to let that happen, right?
No, he doesn't. It's close.
Okay, got it. What do you remember about that climb 3 years ago? Because that was a big deal. A lot of people were watching from all over the world, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me about it.
I remember that there was like an interview every day, and that We even had an interview on the wall,
Yeah.
but it was so much fun to be up there.
I want to talk to you about fear because I know that that's a real motivator for you, Joe, is sort of getting them to overcome fear, right? And how do you do that when you're hanging off the side of a mountain, a 3,000-foot rock face, below you? Most kids would be scared to death. How do you overcome that, and why is that such a goal of yours?
Well, really the first discipline that you have to overcome is self-regulation, where you can control your emotions. And it's natural to be scared to death. It is totally scary what the things that we develop our kids into. But with a dad that's right there, coaching them through it, talking them through the tears, helping them work on it, it's like they gain this deep strength, and then you begin to see this inner confidence emerge, and then courage starts forming, and then you see like this boy that's got this weight and this inner strength, and it's so awesome. And eventually, now I see in Sam, I'm seeing this desire for self-mastery, and those all are formed off of that basic layer of self-regulation.
What do you mean by self-mastery? What does that entail for you?
That's when you begin to desire your own growth. You instead of a dad's always coaching a kid growing up and getting stronger, a boy begins to say, I want this for myself. I want to develop my own skills and my own, for myself.
We're going to delve much more into that because I know it's a whole parenting style for you, and I think it's something a lot of people are interested in, so we'll talk about that here in a minute. But Sylvan, I want to talk to you, if I can, about what you're going to do, so tell me what you've already climbed and what the next goal is.
I climbed Leaning Tower, Wolf's Head, Mount Moran, Pangora, and that's it.
And the first three of those, if you Google them, he is the youngest person in the world to climb those three.
At what age?
They're each a different year.
Okay.
So 7, and 6 are those other ones.
Wow. Tell me about what it's like to be on these big mountains, these big rock walls. Is it scary? Are you nervous?
Kind of.
Yeah. Are you nervous?
No.
Not really. Wow. Because you train so much, right?
Yeah.
What's the training like? You go out every weekend and get ready for this? And you kind of are messing around every day, right?
Yeah.
Well, tell them what you were working on today.
With Jumars.
What's that?
It's really like, get like one, and then you get two, and then you each have a foot, and then you slide one up, but you have to take that, your foot off of that, and you have to hang on the other one, and then you have to slide that one up, and you can keep going up.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You have to be strong to do it?
Yeah.
Think of it like a mechanical device that goes up a rope but then locks.
Yeah.
And what he was working on today, he was passing a knot. So he works his way up and he gets to the knot, and then he has to figure out how to get the ascenders over it without falling. And it's kind of like you have these things hooked to your feet and your arms, and it gets all tangled.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of practice.
It's a lot of work. Talk about the roots of this, Joe. Like, why is this something you wanted to get your boys involved with? Was climbing a big deal for you when you were young? I know that you and your dad used to adventure in the West, and is that really where this is all rooted?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like every dad gets to pick their own pathway that they want to create to manhood. Many cultures of the past had a specific way in which they would initiate their boys into men. Our culture has kind of lost that, to be honest.
Okay.
And so now it's kind of like up to dad to figure out. So if you're a dad who's like building homes, it's like it's their job to create some kind of apprenticeship where they're teaching boys to, get out there and build things and all that. This is just the kind of dad I am, and so I want the time with my boys, and in preparing for the Matterhorn, we spent like thousands of hours, like one-on-one working on this, and all of that time is really like Sam learning, all of these different pieces that I can kind of speak into him.
Yeah.
And for each of the boys needs tremendous one-on-one time to be able to achieve these things, and that's in that process is when masculinity is like bestowed to the next generation.
Well, we're going to talk more about that and this parenting style and why that's so important to you as we continue this Colorado conversation with Joe and Sam and Sylvan and Joey right here on Fox 31 Plus. Stick around. We'll be right back. And we are back with this episode of Colorado Conversations. We are talking to perhaps the most adventurous family in all of Colorado, if you ask me. Joe and Sam and Sylvan and Joey. Joe and Sam just climbed the Matterhorn in Switzerland, and they've done El Capitan in Yosemite, and this is their life. They are all about it, and it's really all about adventure. And again, for Joe, it's really also all about parenting style, that you really want to instill these values in your children. Why is that so important? And you talked a lot about how this helps them transform into better men. Talk more about that.
Yeah. I don't want to be prescriptive and say everybody should be climbing El Capitan with their kids. That would be crazy. But what I do want to see happen in our culture is I want to see older men bringing up their young men into something, do something with them, create some kind of intentional strategy to get there. And another man that I met, he has a whole list of things that he wants his kids to have accomplished before they graduate his home. There are things like cut down a tree, speak on a stage, go and ask a girl out on a date. Like, those are great things, but like, he was intentional about it. In the same way, that's what we are. We're a very goal-centered family, and so that's not for everybody, but that's the boys I'm raising, you know? And so it's my message to other fathers out there is put together a plan. If you don't, your kids are just going to come together by random events. And when you're really intentional and you say, okay, I'm going to map out a plan, you end up investing so much more better quality time.
Yeah. I'm guessing these are a lot of boys. These are boys that don't spend a lot of time on screens and indoors and doing a lot of that sort of thing.
Right? Well, it's funny because Sylvan the other day when he was out there practicing Jumars, he says, "Why couldn't I just have been born into the video game playing family?" and so some days they kind of wish they were, but we're fighting the screens too.
Sure, everybody is. Is this about faith for you too? Is faith important?
Absolutely.
Tell me more about that.
Especially in mountain climbing, you're so in touch with your mortality. Yeah. And we talk a lot about it, like learning about the smallness of your greatness, which is really when we discover humility, which is when you're on these big walls and you comprehend the Creator, you comprehend the creation, and you come in touch with it. It's, there's no better way to really think about, one, your own life and the meaning of it, and the creation than being on these super huge walls.
Well, talking about that mortality, obviously you're face to face with it in these settings. Have there been any close calls? Is there any real dangerous situation that these boys have been in?
There's only ever been one scenario that was very scary for us. And Sam's smiling over here. Do you want to tell the story?
Yeah, do it.
We call it the goat story.
Okay, let's hear the goat story.
So there's this goat while we were climbing this mountain, and it followed us the whole entire pitch. Okay. And then there was like 100-foot ledge, and so my dad let me out some rope, and then I was walking across. I got to the side, but not quite to the anchors, and then the goat got caught in my lines.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, so what happened then?
Then he just took off running.
Yeah.
He was out of there.
And Sam was bouncing along this ledge with 100 feet of rope out. If he would have fallen off, he would have just like pendulumed down the wall.
Okay.
And we definitely would have left in a chopper if that had happened. But there was another climber who saw it and just dive tackled Sam into this bush.
Oh, wow.
Which created enough like rope tension for that goat to like break free.
Wow.
But the goat was tangled in Sam's line, and the goat was like this goofy goat that wanted to stand like 8 feet from you. It was very friendly.
Yeah.
And it was climbing the wall with us.
That's wild.
It's so crazy.
There's also this scene in some of the footage that you guys have shot where you boys are swinging off the rock wall there. What's that like, and is there fear in that at all, or are you basically just loving life the whole time you're up there?
It's actually really fun.
It's fun?
Yeah, the swings are super fun.
Okay. Wow.
We've done a lot of rope swings.
In Zion, there's like this huge rope swing, and I just jumped off, and it was so
That's
scary.
the biggest one we've ever done.
You had the time of your life. We got to talk about your mom. What does your mom think about all this?
I don't know.
Hey, Joey, what does your mom think? He's half asleep.
Well, we called her before we did the Matterhorn, and we called her right after we did the Matterhorn.
Oh, but it was the call that she was waiting for the most in her whole life, right?
Yeah.
Well, I saw when you were at Yosemite and you were on El Capitan, you had radios and you could talk to her. Did that help you get up the mountain, do you think? Did it help you to hear your mom's voice?
And tell him what message you sent to your mom.
When?
With the remember we put up the big flag?
Oh yeah, we put up this giant flag on our portal that said, "Almost there, love you, Mom."
That was super cool. I'll bet she loved that, didn't
Yeah.
she? Yeah. You had that plan the whole time and
Oh, yeah.
surprised
You
her?
had to. I mean, it's a
That was great.
yeah.
What do your friends think about this? Do they think it's pretty cool?
They think it's awesome, but their parents think my dad's a little nuts.
Well, that leads me to my next question, actually, because I'm sure there are a ton of people out there who are big critics of this, right, and don't think it's the right way to...
I'm sure somebody's going to call CPS after watching that.
I'm sure.
Almost guaranteed.
Tell me about that. How do you combat that? Because it's got to be a real thing, right? And people worry, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. So first of all, I want people to know, like, when we set our 3 rules, that the safety one is a big deal. That's why we always say in our family we want to put safety third, you know. And so, but really, it's like these kids are bolted to the wall. Like when we're on El Capitan, they are connected every second, and we have professionals around our boys. You know, it's not like we're just like, yeah, let's go climb that thing.
Yeah.
This is well planned out, strategically planned out, sometimes like 9 months in advance.
Okay.
And we are being as safe as possible. Now, mountains have this, we talk about it as a God factor, where the mountain can just kill you. Just like it can when you drive down the highway. Like it can just kill you. Like it, rocks break off and they can crush you. But, you know, we think that the benefits far outweigh the risks. And that's what we're always comparing. Like, I see tremendous benefits in these boys becoming strong and courageous and powerful and good, you know, through this process. And that there is some risk to that.
Interesting. All right. We're going to continue our Colorado conversation with Joe and Joey and Sam and Sylvan, the most adventurous family in Colorado, if you ask me. We'll be right back right here on Colorado Conversations. We are back having a Colorado conversation with this amazing Colorado family right here. Joe and Sam and Sylvan and Joey. And Joe and Sam just climbed the Matterhorn in Switzerland, and they've done El Capitan. And I'm curious, what is the next? You talk about these colossal goals that you set for everybody year after year. What's the next goal?
Well, we still got 2 more to do here.
Okay.
This is still in that season.
Yeah.
And we're yet to pick Sam's next, or all of these boys next year.
Okay.
So we're having conversations, but we're kind of holding that tight to the chest right now.
All right.
But I promise you, they will be bold and they will be big. And each of these boys is developing at a different pace. And so we'll be picking them out, customized for the boys.
You'll let us know?
Yeah.
Has Everest been a part of the conversation?
You know, Everest is a big commitment. And so it's one of those ones that, man, it would be so rad to do Everest. It's just a giant commitment, though. It's like, it would take me and one of my boys like 5 or 6 months away to really kind of do that right. Plus, it's cost a bunch of money. But it's that one's going to be kind of up to them, because at some point here, Mom and Dad aren't going to be picking the goals. The boys are going to be fully picking the goals. And so that'll be at the ages when they'll be making those decisions.
Because that's kind of the point of all this, is to give them the independence to sort of make up their mind and do their own thing. Well, you mentioned expense there, even with Everest, but I have to think that it's not exactly cheap doing what you guys do already. How do you pay for all this?
Yeah, well, first of all, rock climbing is usually free. You know, it's like you just got to get the gear and the equipment, and you know, and I've got a lot of friends who will partner up with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some cost to it. It's just like anything. Like you got to architect a life and figure out how to pay for it.
Make it a priority.
We make a lot of sacrifices on other things to be able to do this, and you know, it doesn't cost a lot to put up a tent and camp out for a couple days and then go climb a mountain.
That's a good point. Good point. Tell me about the movie you guys are making. There's a documentary, right?
Yes, we're making a movie about our 3 boys and the mountains they're climbing this year. And actually, we're looking for people that want to help fund that. And you can see the trailer. If you go to Give, Send, Go and search Sam Adventure, it's like the first one that comes up. The film is called Against the Sky. And it's going to be the story of how we're raising these boys to men out of the mountains.
And what's your goal with it? Why do you want this to be seen, and what do you hope to take away?
Yeah, it's what I hope is that I awaken other fathers out there to say, you know what, I'm not going to take my kids up El Capitan, but I'm going to put together a plan, like Joe has, and I'm going to develop my boys into great men. Because in our world today, you know, it's the school system's raising boys, and you know, there's a lot of other influences that are raising our boys, and it ends up that our boys really are like being raised into women, is what I see is happening. I want like strong, powerful men, and that's going to take men, fathers, speaking into their boys and getting that intentional time with them.
Yeah, and like you said, it doesn't necessarily mean climbing a mountain.
No.
There are little things everybody can do every day.
Yeah, it's going to be architected by the father. Like, come up with a plan, but it needs to have some of these elements where you're pushed a little bit. It's your job as a dad to push your sons when they're younger to do hard things, do big things. So it should have some of those elements in it.
Yeah. Let me ask you, boys. So Sam and Sylvan especially, but Joey too. You mentioned this doesn't scare you that much, but if this doesn't scare you, what does scare you? What are you scared of?
Say what you're scared of.
Okay, so what are you scared of, Sylvan?
Clowns.
Clowns?
Pterodactyls.
Pterodactyls, all right.
And Gore's trying to kiss me.
Okay, in that order? Okay, very good. How about you, Sam?
Shark, spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't like sharks or spiders. What are you afraid of, Joey?
Being on TV.
Yeah, saying something like
Okay, Joey, just say.
And Sam, I heard you say that the best part about it was being there with your dad, and you really loved that moment, and being up there, sleeping up there on the side of the mountain. And that probably speaks to the overall value in all this, right, Joe, is that these guys want to be around you, and they're having a good time doing it, and what better thing is there than that, right?
That's what Sylvan was saying on the car ride over here. He was saying my favorite part is, like...
That's what Joey
Doing the
said.
What?
For dinner.
They love just kind of, I mean, they love the camping, being in sleeping bags together, being one-on-one with me. Like, that's
Watching Dad's phone, Lion King.
Yeah, they like watching a movie on my phone up on the wall.
Pretty cool.
So
you are
Just
giving your
sit
kids a
down.
taste of something that very few other kids get a taste of, and you'd like to change that, I know. And
Let's change it.
Maybe this will help do that for sure. So Joe, Sam, Sylvan, Joey, thank you guys so much for coming all the way up here from Colorado Springs and talking to us. Okay. And good luck on the next adventure. I can't wait to see where you go next. Okay.
thank you for giving us a great interview.
I'm glad. It's been so much fun. That's it for this episode of Colorado Conversations. We'll have another one tomorrow right here on Fox 31 Plus.
Download Fox 31 Plus from your App Store.